record to the cloud so we can get the audio. And we are good. All right. Well, this one dead too, yeah. It's dead. All right. So tonight, man, we're doing our second live podcast with BroTalk. And tonight, man, we're going to dive into the title, which is Weapon of Choice. And this is a great title because, you know, the past weeks, a lot of things have been crazy in this world. A lot of things have been, you know, we had murders happen, we had protests happen, we had looting happen, and amongst a lot of other things going on in this world. One of the main things that you see today is a lot of people's heart speaking. And in the midst of those people's heart speaking, you're starting to see a lot of people's true colors, right? So in today's podcast, me and my brother Jarmarcus, we're going to dive into, you know, the weapon of choice. You have a choice in how you handle whatever comes your way, whether it's how you feel about Candace Owens, what she said, how you feel about some of the comments and people and private relationships that you had to lose along the way, you know what I'm saying, because of their comments or their posts or feelings or whatever. But one of the main things is you have a choice, and how you, whatever you choose in the response, that's what you will be judged on. So I'm gonna turn it over to my brother Jarmarcus, man.
All right, what's going on, man? Second live, video we got going on, man. Once again, just giving glory to God for everything that He got us to. Big EP, 14. Who would have thought, back on EP1 we would have been here, but now we're here. So give it what it is, man. Weapon of choice, man, is something that, me and my brother E talked about, how everything is going now, and, all the protesting and a lot of changes have been made. A lot of good things have came out of a bad situation, as people see. So we wanted to talk about like the weapon of choice on how do you handle, things now as more things come. I just want to talk about, like, I believe that, like, no matter what comes your way, the one weapon you can always fall back on is, the weapon of love. Weapon of love is, as if you didn't know, in the book of Matthew, God talks about love being the greatest commandment of all, right? Loving God, higher than others. And then right after that, how He talks about loving our neighbor, right? So you got that in there, just understanding that God is saying that love conquers all. We've seen so many different quotes, heard so many things, love conquers all, love greater than evil, whatever it is may be. So the first weapon of choice that I'm throwing out there is just love, that overall love. Now, with that being said, is it hard to love right now? Yes. Yes, it is very hard to love. If you in the Black community, hearing somebody tell you, love thy neighbor, or, love everybody, is closed ears is what you're doing. And I'm speaking about myself as well. It's a hard pill to swallow to be able to say, I love everybody, especially when everybody's not loving you back.
Yeah.
So, well, Jarmarcus, how do you move about doing that? Well, I'm not telling you to, go out here and, like, hugging everybody and, doing all. You can't hug nobody anyway because of COVID, so I hope you ain't doing that. But, like, the word love can mean so many different things. It doesn't mean, like, hugging and all that type stuff. Love is just understanding that everybody is everybody. Yeah. A part of love is understanding that everybody is human. Love is, understanding that you don't have hate for someone else. You know what I'm saying? You may not like them, but you don't have hate for someone else. So just to give that love, and speaking on, love right now is just more loving communities right now is what we need, I guess, be speaking on. As the Black community, we're hoping that another community loves us the same. You know what I'm saying? But just to be honest, that's just where we at right now. So we all know that every white person we walk across ain't bad. Is it hard to tell who is bad and who is good? Yeah, it is. I mean, that's with any person that you walk upon. You can, not even with color. I mean, people in your family, friends, or whatever. You don't know who is good automatically. You know what I'm saying? But you can still have a love and care for people to not hurt people, to not, physically harm somebody. That's what the love I'm talking about. That type of love. I'm not speaking about, love on type love. I'm talking about like just that overall love, understanding that people are people and you don't want to put harm against nobody. That's the weapon of choice that I'm saying to try to use, at all times. I watched a video today, where a white lady spit on a black kid for protesting, and like getting spit on, that's like that's almost worse than getting slapped or anything. It's just straight disrespectful. And the kid, I want to send him a big shout out. I don't know his name, I don't know nothing, but his reaction, I'm gonna tell you right now, it wouldn't have been my reaction at his age at that time, but his reaction was he just kept protesting. And to me, that's the type of love that I'm speaking about. That he didn't want to harm nobody because he still cares for people. Like he still cares overall that I don't want to hurt somebody physically or anything like that. So I'm gonna continue doing me. The biggest thing, I know to tell people, if somebody's trying to do something to you and you could just keep smiling, you winning. Like you overall winning, because you're not letting them getting you to a point where they control you and let you get angered, and now they have control over how you do it. Like, nobody should be writing your story but you. Like, you're the only one who should write your own story. You and God are the authors, of your story. You shouldn't be letting nobody else put pen to pad on how you want your story to be read out. So, bro, that's just like my first point is love. I just throwing that out there as a weapon of choice, that just love for people.
Yeah, and man, I mean that's the greatest. I think that's one of the probably the most powerful weapon of all.
Yeah.
Love. I mean, if we go through the book of Corinthians, man, love is a lot. Love is powerful. You know what I'm saying? In so many different dynamics and ways. And if you think about when, as Jesus was getting ready to be crucified, they were spitting on him.
Yeah.
Punched him in the face, beat him, cut him, stabbed. They were just doing some of the most downright despicable things to him.
Yeah.
Yet and still, he said, Father, forgive them, for they don't even know what they're doing.
For real.
So I would say, man, attached to love would be forgiveness. And I think there are going to be so many people that know you tripping.
Yeah.
Even in that, like, it's tough, man. And it's something like, real talk, man. Still battling with everything and still internally trying to handle and ride this flow of emotions. We still got to forgive, bro. And love, when you love somebody, man, like, they hurt you, but you forgive them. If you love them like you say you do anyway. You know what I'm saying? So, the more love that is pushed out, love trumps hate all day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know we see right now that there's a lot of hate spewing out of people's heart, but in this same transition of everything that's going on, you starting to see a lot of love come out because now people mindsets are being transformed.
Yeah.
Like what, I didn't really look at it like that, but now I'm starting to understand. You know what I'm saying? What's going on? Yeah, go ahead, buddy. I'm really starting to understand what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And now they're starting to be showing more compassion and empathy towards the situation.
Yeah.
That's a place of love, man. You know what I'm saying? So, bro, and you just pretty much summed it up right there. You know what I'm saying? The whole weapon of choice. Like, go love them, man. Like, love on people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The thing, when you love on somebody, man, that probably never received real love, it breaks them down eternally. Like you start seeing people cry, you start seeing people like strongholds being released and chains broken off of them because
Yeah.
they never received that real love, that real embrace. And this is a time where most of the world and the enemy has an agenda to divide. But when love flows up into that, man, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to divide somebody that you love. Like when you say, I love you to your wife, can't nobody come in between y'all. You say, I love you to your kids, can't nobody come in between you and your kids. You know what I'm saying? And that goes for your family and your friends and whoever. You know what I'm saying? So even in the midst of all this stuff that's going on, bro, like we just got to, it's tough, man. We got to get to a place and just love on each other, man. You know what I'm saying? And then you just gotta, you know what I'm saying? You just gotta do it, bro. Like it's hard. It's hard. It's hard to say love somebody that spit on you.
Yeah, that's a hard thing, man. And I was just I was shocked, but I was also I probably hear a little about this. But I was proud of that brother, man, because he could have did something totally different and been portrayed on what they wanted him to act like. You know what I'm saying? They are, a lot of times they see people and they see us as, you hear it all the time, they see us as monkeys and they wanted him to act like, but what he did was so different. I'm not saying that he hugged the lady and, gave her flowers after that, but what he didn't do was the same thing that she did. You know what I'm saying? So that was a display. That was a display that, he could be a better person. He can show, love in a time of where hate is getting thrown towards him. So I just thought that was great. You know what I'm saying? Because it speaks bigger. Because, there's always something bigger for it. God always has a purpose for everything. So I just took it as, God was just like, hey, in his head, like, I shouldn't do the same thing she's doing to me. So that's just my view for it though, but, you'll hear a little, like you said earlier, you'll hear a little backlash because we asking for people to, show love or forgive or even a little bit just, showing grace.
Yeah.
That's a hard thing, showing grace, for a lot of wrongdoing towards, a lot of people that really ain't do nothing.
Yeah.
But man, it's even hard to I was reading a post of the day where somebody was like, we need to pray for these people. And it was actual Michael Porter Jr. I think like when everything first like popped off, he was like I think we need to pray for like the cops as well. And people were like just going in on him. And maybe it was too early for people to hear that because they wasn't ready to receive it. But he came out and he was just like, we need to pray for them as well. And I mean, by the Bible, he right. He right. We were supposed to. I mean, what you say in that prayers, I pray they go to hell. That's between you and God, or whatever. But my prayer for them was, I hope see justice. Like, God, I hope you. I know you the man and everything. I know you don't need no help, But right now, if you need a little help, God, I pray that they see justice. But that's a conversation between you and God, man. But
Yeah.
it was just amazing that he had got so much backlash for that. And I was just thinking, like, right now, like, man, at this point in time, it's hard. It's hard for people out there, and I'm saying myself too. It's hard for people out there to not, even if you know the Bible, even if you know what you're supposed to do, it's hard for you to like hear those words and be like, man, God, like what? Like you asking
Yeah.
me to love God? You asking me to still have love for these people, even after what they did? You
Look,
know?
dog on that award, so y'all still got y'all ain't got love for the West Coast.
Yeah.
For black
You know
people.
what I'm saying? And it ties to what you said, like, the same people that I was spitting on Jesus and mocking him,
Yeah.
like he died on he didn't when he died, he wasn't like, I died for everybody except them folk over there that did all that to me. You know what I'm saying? It says for whosoever, you know what I'm saying? So he went down there and took the keys for everybody.
Yeah.
And I just thought about this the other day, and I think I said in the last podcast, but it still blows my mind because I never thought about it when I was younger, all the way up until now. Like Jesus sat at the same table with the person that was gonna tell on him.
Yeah.
Like it's not like he didn't know. Like he knew. He knew once he picked the disciples already.
Told him, hey, one of y'all gonna, send me to the cross.
Yeah. Like, I mean, if you think about that, that's like, I know me, I'd have been like, yo, Judy, you out, bro. Like, you ain't, nah.
Right. Man,
You know what I'm saying? So,
gangster.
the other one I'll share, bro, I honestly just read it on my Bible app right now, and shared and like copied and pasted. But it was another one that I just didn't even know about. But it's from Isaiah 6. Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, who shall I send and who will go for us? And then I said, here I am, send me. I thought that was like a real big one. When God wants to come and talk to you, he talks to you.
Yeah.
So, my next weapon of choice will be, there is no other greater than the one upstairs.
Yeah.
I know I said it last podcast, and I know you had got into it too, that it was once this thing happened, man, it hit us a little hard, and it shook me a little bit, man. It shook me, not just me, but it shook my spiritual way too, man. It shook me like a lot, man, because I didn't go to God about it at first, man. I didn't ask God for help in this. I didn't seek his counsel, like, hey God, can you help me like digest what just happened?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like Isaiah 6 says, who shall I send? Who will go for us? And I mean, he said it right there, send me. So, sometimes we just got to remember to put God before things, and he'll take care of the rest.
Yeah. Like we be trying to carry our own weight, man.
Yeah.
Take things into our own hands, and I'm for be 100% transparent, I did that most of my life. God need a little more help from me. I'll do it. And even in these times, just people, I think it was so traumatic to the world that people got out of the consciousness of where your help come from.
Yeah.
Where your strength comes from. The only person that can solve anything, with every issue. So I'm gonna tell you that when I first saw the video, I didn't have God in mind. I'm gonna be 1,000%. I was pissed off.
Yeah, most definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And now it's like people rather hold on to this people rather hold on to the anger. They rather hold on to the the hurt, the pain. And I'm not saying that, you know, you shouldn't feel what you feel, but understand that if you give all that emotion to God, He can send you back something that now you can go forth and carry
Yeah.
a mission to help solve the issue. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people forgot that. All right, we know that there's an issue. We know that there's an issue with police brutality. We know there's an issue with black on black crime. We know there's an issue with crime. Everybody got crime in their neighborhood. So
Yeah.
in order to solve all that, how can we do that? And I think towards the last podcast, you know, I prayed. I said, God, like, I'm angry. I don't know what to do, how to feel right now. Like, help me to help the situation. What do you need me to do? Let me be the vessel to bring forth whatever you need that we can give the people that you know what I'm saying? There's something, you know, the answer to this. What is it? Like, give me the answer, show me what it is, guide me, give me understanding in this time, because right now there's no understanding. Like, if you look at the carnal mind, there's no understanding this right now. Why did a black man have to die with a police on his neck? You know what I'm saying? Why didn't those other 3 cops help him? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So these why questions, the only answer to those why questions is you got to bring God forth and let Him do what He gonna do.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we be trying to do too much, man. You know what I'm saying? We be trying to take control of things, and that go not only for, you know what I'm saying, just this situation, but just in our life in general. You know, whether it's finances, whether it's relationships, careers, you know, parenting, we be trying to do too much, and we forget that our help, like, you know, God got the answer already, right? Everything that you're looking for, everything that you need to do, how to do it, when to do it, you know what I'm saying? But we do too fast, and, you know, that's why He said be slow to anger. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be jumping out there with your emotions out there, because emotions are like alcohol or like drugs. They take away your cognitive perception of what is really the issue, or how to really react. You know,
Yeah.
it's like being drunk is the same way as being angry. You know what I'm saying? So understand, man. We all gotta keep God first, and then the next thing, like my brother said, man, like, bring that love about. You know what I'm saying? So, I know, man. For me, I would say the next weapon of choice, man, is to make a choice. You gotta choose to do the right thing. The brother that you talked about, you know what I'm saying? She spit on him, but he chose not to retaliate. He didn't show hate with hate. He showed hate by compassion. He probably could have knocked the old lady out or anything.
Yeah, true.
You know what I'm saying? So he showed her compassion not to retaliate with giving her the same thing. And I know a lot of people, this is the famous statement, I ain't nothing like my ancestors. We gonna do fill in the blank. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
understand that our ancestors, because a lot of them that didn't do anything or didn't retaliate, is some of the reason why things have progressed. I'm gonna say they changed, because I ain't out. Anyway, they progressed. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, and one of the things that I love about the protests and everything, like, never in my lifetime would I ever, you know what I'm saying, thought that it would reach 50 states and countries.
Yeah.
You seeing black, white, Hispanic, Asian, everybody come together for a common cause. If that ain't love, if that ain't God, if that ain't making a choice, I don't know what is, man. I don't know any other weapon that y'all can choose, because if you choose anything other than that, it's probably gonna be a massacre somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Purge. You know what I'm saying? I got like it's tough, man. It's a tough situation to be in, man. But you know, I say it like this, man. I was sitting there. Dang, what was I reading, man? Here you go. 1 Corinthians 4, verse 5. It says, "Therefore, do not pronounce judgment before the time, before the Lord comes, who will bring to light the things now hidden in darkness, and will disclose the purpose of the heart. Then each one will receive his condemnation from God." Right? So you can't make a choice and judge based upon what somebody did. Yeah, is the cop wrong? In my mind, common sense, yes. But guess who got to judge him? God do.
Yeah.
And I prayed for the brother, because I hate to see his soul burn, but he needs justice, and justice needs to be served. I'm not the one to make that judgment though, but I choose to just still pray for him. Everybody going on, and I know a lot of people probably not gonna like what I got to say, but it's the right thing. It's the choice. Yeah, it's the right choice. You know what I'm saying? So I choose to do the right thing in spite of my feelings. It's just like when your spouse make you mad. Do you choose? Excuse me. Do you choose to like retaliate and then make her mad, or do you choose to understand and be compassionate and show her compassion?
That's a good word, compassion. Good word.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's a choice, man. That's a choice all day long, man. And we all got to make them choices. The tough choices is what we got to make. In spite.
I like how you. My bad. I like how you that weapon that you pick choice because that's one thing God left us with. Like he left us with a mindset to make a choice, right? So it's either you're gonna choose the right path or the left path. But but like you said though, make a choice though. I'll go into like another weapon that I'm gonna touch on is like just to have a voice. A lot of people like think like when people start bringing religion into this, they're thinking like, oh, you asking me to be quiet, you asking me not to say nothing, because that's what God would do, or you asking me to be a punk and be like our ancestors that just whatever. But you know what I'm saying? I'll tell you right now, you can find everything in the Bible. You can find everything in the Bible. The Bible lets you know how it talks about. One of the verses literally in the Bible says like there ain't nothing that you can do that I ain't seen before or that ain't even happened before. I don't know the verse name, but it's in there. But literally Proverbs 31 literally says, "Speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves. Ensure justice for those being crushed. Yes, speak up for the poor and the helpless and see that they get justice." I mean, what else? What else? Like, what else? That's like God. Yeah. For real. That's like God's telling y'all, hey, get out there and protest. Get up and speak for those who have been crushed. Get up and speak for those who have been, killed for no reason. That's the Bible telling you to go out and speak up. Go out and do that. But at the same time, you don't see it telling you to go out there and speak up and then kill right after that, though. It's not telling you that. It's just telling you to speak up for those who cannot speak up for themselves. And for everybody, you said for these 50, and this is the most beautiful thing about this. Ferguson happened in only one city. And, we watched Ferguson on TV, and that was it. This started in one city, and then it went nationwide. Like we just had 50 states protest. And we only just talking about in America, but along Paris joined in. There was parts of London. There was parts. I'm talking about around the world. So like this verse in the Bible just screams out to me because a lot of people think like the Bible is telling them to only just be quiet and not say nothing. But like, that's God right there telling you that you have a voice to speak up for those who can't speak. You know what I'm saying? So like, I wanted to share that with everybody because I want you to understand that, first of all, there ain't nothing that he can't handle, like we already talked about. And there's nothing where he's telling you to not use your voice when you can for those who cannot speak. Like, he's not trying to see certain people not get treated the right way. He knows that. He knew people were going to treat certain people the wrong way. He knew people were going to be wronged and people were going to be held and not have the right justice as other people knew. He knew this was coming. Yeah. And right there, he's telling you to speak up. You got a voice. You have a choice with your voice. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's mine, man.
To go with that, man, talking about the voice, man. If you think of the walls of Jericho, how did they come down?
Yeah.
They didn't touch the wall. You know, God gave, first they went to God. Joshua was obedient to listen and go and listen to God give him instruction on what to do. They followed the instruction. And he said 7 times with a loud, you know what I'm saying, shout or chant or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And it did. You know what I'm saying? So to choose to use your voice in the right light. And I know for me, when I was posting out of emotion.
Yeah.
You know, and then I was like, hold on. I don't think, you know what I'm saying? Let me go back and not post some of this stuff that I was thinking about posting, you know, based upon emotion. But, you know, the voice, man, understand this too with this protest, man. This is something that struck me. What comes out of the voice is words. Life and death is in the tongue.
Ooh.
So even in protest, man, y'all got to be careful what you're speaking in the protest, because the way you choosing to use your voice, the words that are you letting slip out your mouth, can cause havoc and everything.
Hey, that's a good point right there.
So you got to choose your words carefully, man. Your words are weapons. You know what I'm saying? And they talk about words being spells. That's true. That's
you
know what I'm saying? So how you use your voice as a weapon of choice, man. Make sure that you are doing it from a standpoint that you want to bring forth goodness. And you know what I'm saying, you know, however God is going to lead you to do that, seek him first. Lean not to your own understanding, but trust in the Lord in all thy ways. He'll direct your path. He'll direct your word. He'll direct how to use your voice in the most powerful way. You know, there have been a lot of speakers on different platforms, man, and there have been some that stood out and some that didn't. And you got to understand that that was by design. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we got on here, because God gave us a platform to voice concerns of men, voice concerns of things that, you know, men are dealing with. And you know, the most ironic thing to this whole podcast, man, is that we've impacted a lot of the female community. Like, they're some of our biggest listeners, man. And you know what I'm saying? They're just going through the numbers. And you know, it's just we got in position to listen to God and bring forth whatever it is, the message that he wants to bring to the people. You know what I'm saying? Understand that this ain't us using our voice. This is God's work coming through us as a vessel for the voice. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's good, man.
Yeah.
That's good.
And then I think like the one more I'll add on there, bro, is we've heard this word, you know, another 4-letter word, and I think like this word gets thrown out so much, but we really don't know like what the word means. But the last one is hope, man. Like hope. Like, it's so easy to like hear the word, but then, you know, not understand like the word for real. Like, so like the word hope is it literally means like a feeling of expectation, desire for a certain thing to happen. That's the definition Bible of hope. So you're expecting something and you desire something, certain things to happen. And right now a lot of people are hoping for what? We're hoping that Black community gets treated equally.
Yeah.
We're hoping that, finally y'all see how we feel. We hoping for a change. We hoping for love. We hoping for the Black community to rise. We're hoping for a lot right now. And so now that you know that definition, how about the definition biblically of the word hope? Because I didn't even know this. But in Hebrews 11, it says, now faith is confidence in what we hope for. Wow. So your hope is tied into your faith. And not like we're getting into God and Christ and stuff. So without hope, you have no faith. Like that's literally that's the NIV version. Then if you go to the NLT, faith shows us the reality of what we hope for. So everything that you hope for, you put your faith in. So we always talk about our ancestors, and we're not gonna do the same thing. We saw our ancestors, and this is why we have the generation we have now. Yeah. We saw our ancestors put hope for a change. MLK, a hope for a change, but the change never came, so we lost faith in the change. And now that's why we are at the point of frustration and at the point of where by any means necessary, which is, I'm not saying ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, I'm fine with the protest. I'm fine with what we did now to make a change. But the point that I'm trying to make, the point that I'm trying to get to is, what you put your hope in, your faith follows.
Yes, sir. Dang, that's good.
If you hope for $1 million and you start seeing money come in, your faith is gonna grow. Oh, I'm gonna get to $1 million because the money's starting to come in. But if you put your hope in $1 million and you don't start seeing nothing, your faith starts to diminish a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So that weapon of choice is hope. But with that hope, you got to understand that with faith and hope, God is behind all of that. And we talked about it in the podcast before. God is not a time-based purpose. He's not a time-based. He don't do stuff by time-based. Everything is purpose-based with him. Yeah. So if you're putting your hope into something, you got to see it through. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You got to see it through. I think today, if our ancestors could see today, I think they would cry so much.
Man.
I think if they saw 50 states protesting, Black and white people,
everybody,
I believe the tears that will come out of a lot of those people's eyes, because of what they see today. So, hope, man, hope.
Bro, I'm to go with that, bro. Sunday we were on with my apostle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And man, he was speaking such a word, man, of walking in truth, man. And to go with the hope. Man, you just brought something to my mind. Understanding like what the word really biblically mean, and you know what I'm saying, like where your hope is, that's where your faith following it. Man, that's crazy, bro. Like we always are hopeful for so many things. Like, think about the word, how we use it. Hopeless romantic. So, you know what I'm saying? When a person says, yeah, I'm a hopeless romantic, we're saying that we hope for a deeper connection with somebody, and our faith is in believing that somebody's going to come.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, you're right.
Mindset. You know what I'm saying? But like, you know, my hope was justice gonna be served and great things are gonna come out of this, out of the rioting, out of the protesting. Well, let me take that back. I don't condone rioting.
Yeah.
It had to be grabbed some kind of way.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so take it how you want to. I'm not condoning it, but it was a mechanism used to get grab attention. But you know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping that all these things, these events that have happened, that you know, my faith standing in that God is gonna change. God is, if y'all ain't seen the world move in love over all this darkness, and you don't know who God is, I don't understand. You might want to kind of, I'm not gonna tell you what you should do, but God is moving like He is. And so, what your hope in your hope, man, have that faith that God gonna do what He do. But don't get outside of that, because don't let your faith be diminished by, you know what I'm saying? Because you see somebody posting a negative comment, or you see some cops getting off, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Still be hopeful, because change is happening. It ain't coming. It's happening. Like,
Yeah, true, bro.
happening, bro. Like, I did a post today of and I got it from somebody else, that of all the things that have happened since George Floyd's death, and the protesting and everything, there's been a lot of laws, a lot of things that are changing, bro. And it's like, wow, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's where that hope comes in. Like, if that should bring a good feeling. Can any of these things bring George Floyd back? No. Can any of these things bring Breonna Taylor back? No. Can any of these things bring Ahmaud back? No. But I feel like their name is not going to go in vain because of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Things had to happen in this world. Unfortunately, they were the ones that had to be sacrificed. And I don't even like how that sounds. And I know a lot of people might not like how that sounds. But if they didn't happen, what if it would have been another name and the same results of the change would have still came? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
that's hard to swallow right there. You know what I'm saying? But man, I'm just hopeful, and my faith is standing. I'm standing flat footed in my faith, man. Strong in my faith that change is coming, man. Like, being divided, it honestly, it's starting with the younger generation. I'm seeing so many of the younger generation that they just click and hang together, man. It's like all races, creeds, and colors, and they just hang together. You know what I'm saying? That's love right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, true.
You know, I just think once the old people that have this hate and they're trying to continue to teach the generations of hate, it's gonna be wiped out, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm hopeful, and my faith is in it. Like, real talk. And I see it changing, man. Like, my son, in his daycare in Georgia, man, like, him and his little white boy were the best of friends. Like, he's
Yeah.
talked about him all the time. That's my friend. That's my friend. You know what I'm saying? And why can't we have the faith like kids? Why we can't not see color? Why we can't just see a person's insides? You know what I'm saying? Their hearts. You know what I'm saying? So, man, I might have to think on that one, man. Well, you brought a word in, golly.
Yeah, man. Cause like you know, I read that one the other day, man, and I never knew. Like, you hear the word, like you said, a hopeless romantic, and you hear the word hope all the time, and you just like, it's just another four-letter word that's thrown around, and you just, you can say it with anything, man. I hope nobody play with me today. I hope I walk up in this job and they ain't giving me no, whatever. And you know what I'm saying? But the Bible lets you know that your hope, man, is tied into faith, man. Without hope there is no faith. That's what the Bible's telling you. So we gotta hope for a change. But that also means if there is no change, we don't lose faith in trying to make a change. You don't lose faith in wanting to see a change. You just gotta. They all tie into each other, man. All the weapons they chosen, they all tie into another one. I like the one that you just talked about, the last one. Teaching, man. Um, Man, racism. We spoke about this on the last podcast. Man, racism is you're not born racist, man.
No,
We said it last time. Like
no,
you just talked about your son, and those kids don't know nothing but what our first weapon that we thought about, love. That's all they know. Those kids, they have a kids have this innocent love about them where they just want to be happy and they just want to love everybody. That's what kids are born with. That's what they come out the womb with. If you never told your kid anything, they're instantly gonna love everyone.
yeah,
They're gonna love everyone until you put fear in them, because this is what I believe racism is fear.
yeah,
I believe it's fear of another race,
yeah,
because they tell those kids that all black people are bad. They're mean, they're angry, they do bad stuff. And I remember I was talking to I'll be open right now. I was talking to my therapist, and he was telling me, when you get mad, is that the only thing you feel? And I'm like, yeah, I'm angry. Shoot, I don't know nothing else. I'm mad. And he was like, anger is not the first emotion you feel when something makes you mad. And I was like, what? He was like, think about a time where you got angry. He was like, what was the first emotion you felt? It could have just been straight anger. And I gave him a story. He was like, think I'm not go back on that. And it was a time that, my dad was supposed to come see me, and he didn't see me. He left me hanging like for the 19th time. And I got, in my head, I got so angry. I started punching the wall and, crying to my mom. And he was like, okay. He was like, how did you feel? I was like, I was upset. I was sad. He was like, see, you were sad. So, like, these people, some of these white people that are like angry and are showing all anger towards black community, they're not even really angry. That's not even the only emotion. It's a fear that they got taught so long ago that, and I said it like that. I wish I could be in the room once they started teaching racism, like, to their kids, so I can hear what they say. But it's like they're putting fear in these kids to make them fear the black community, and then that just goes with them as they getting up. So teaching, man, what you teach people, what teaching we put in this world is how the world's gonna go, man. And we made this podcast not for no fame, not for no glory, but we made this podcast to teach other brothers on the stuff that we miss get out. You know what I'm saying? So when people hear this podcast, they get a teaching out of this that can help make the world better, help break traditional chains that men grow up with. So teaching is another weapon that we can use, man. We can utilize. That's growing up, man. Teaching love, teaching wisdom, teaching, hey, to pick up your Bible in times of need, teaching hope, like teaching, man. Like we're forgetting that. Like, I hope in this podcast, I love how this Black Lives Matter thing started up on Facebook with the military, and all these people have joined. I joined the group. It's a great thing to happen, man. But at the same time, I need to start getting there and doing it too as I'm speaking about it. But I hope we don't forget teaching in that, man. Like, teaching, like, in these protests, teaching everything, like, teaching the younger generations the words of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and all these other people, teaching them who our people are. I know I shared with you the other day, man, and I put it on Facebook and Instagram too. Like, I don't want to disrespect nobody, but there's a Holocaust museum in Washington, D.C. There's one out there. I went to it. I learned about it. But, you know, I understand what happened to, you know, the Jews. It was horrible. Innocent people died, it was gas. But it made me think it's funny that America made a museum for some people, some things that happened for people that wasn't even, that happened on our land. But where is the slave museum in Washington, D.C. for the people that died on our land?
Yeah.
Like, where is that museum at? Why did I read about the diary of Anne Frank, which was, I'm glad I read about it to learn about it and understand it, but where are the diaries of our black slaves that wrote diaries?
Man.
I shared one from Diary of a Little Southern Girl in South Carolina, Joe. Like, why did we learn about this in history? Like, why is slavery just out of our history? Is it because it happened in our land?
In our history, it's just we're not talking about the people that really impacted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think if history is taught the real way, like I think if slavery is taught the real way, if we share what really happened, like okay, now people who are not black can actually see what really happened and be like, I did not know this. Like my family didn't share this with me. They just told me black people were slaves and I was it. I didn't know all of this happened. Like it's like we're afraid to teach what really happened, and it needs to get taught. Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? We want white people to understand this, to teach it. Show roots in the whole classroom. Like,
yeah. Man. Like in that right there, bro. It's like, God just spoke to me then. So when you put a mirror up in front of a person and show them what they did, the first instance that anybody, and this is for anybody, I guarantee you $100 that a person can't go into the mirror and look at themselves and just like look at yourself. You know how hard that is? So if we bring up all this history, you know what it's gonna do for those white people? It's gonna make them very uncomfortable, and they're gonna start to see.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's why they only teach certain parts, because it's an scapegoat to not face what has happened. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm with you, bro. Like, I'm ashamed to say this, but I just learned about Juneteenth last year. I just learned about the Gullah Wars.
Big facts.
I didn't know nothing about none of this stuff. It wasn't taught to me. The little Southern girl you just talked about, I just heard it from you. You get what I'm saying? So it's so much other history and it's our culture that's being erased because they don't want to face the mirror of what they did.
That's true, bro. That's a good point, man. But like at this point in time right now, man, we forget the mirror, forget that uncomfortability. We need to teach others about others. Like we'll never fully understand each other until we teach and like put everything out there, man. Like you said, man, I ain't learned about Juneteenth in school. They ain't say, no, I don't remember none of that in history or nothing. I don't remember them saying.
Dude, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't remember it, man. And it's just, it threw me for a shock, man, when I was like, I forgot even why I was like looking up like museums, but it just threw me for a shock. I'm like, okay, there's a Holocaust museum in Washington, D.C. This is, and like I said, man, I'm not taking, I don't want to disrespect anybody out there because, the Holocaust was something terrible. Innocent people got hurt, innocent people got killed, and all of this, but that's the same thing that happened in slavery. Same thing. Yeah. And I was like, wow, why is there no museum about this? Like, why can't people walk in and learn about people who were important in those times and hear their stories and read their diaries? And this will open it up. Like, when I got taught about the Holocaust and told I had to write a story about it,
Mhm.
I looked at that community and was like, yo, I want to show y'all compassion because I can't believe it happened.
Yeah, yeah. It made you aware. You were educated.
You know what I'm saying? So this is where I'm like, why are we not educating the world on slavery? You know what I'm saying?
Because here's the thing, man. When you bring about your history, man, it brings about a certain change in you as a person. Now we know who we are. Now, okay. Now, if you really go back through like, the history of slavery, there were some people. There were Black Seminoles who went from the South to the North on a killing spree for freedom.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't hear about that. You only hear about, and you hear about plantations in the South, and that's all you hear, that stuff. And I think the fact that they want us to, I'm saying it like this, it's just reality, guys. But they want to keep us in that box of fear and that box of
I 100% agree with you.
And keep you in that minority word so that you can stay in that box and not really know what you come from. You know what I'm saying? This is something that I think we as people got to start teaching our kids in the Black community. Have pride in who you are.
Yeah.
God made you fearfully, beautifully, wonderfully made.
Hey, you just said it right there.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, slavery happened, but there were some other people that during slavery, they still stood up and had a voice. Mm-hmm. So when you see injustice happen, when you see wrong happen, stand up and have a voice. That's why that Black man that was part of the 3 cops didn't say nothing. He didn't know how to have a voice. And we got to stop teaching our kids not to be silent. You can stand up for what's right. I always tell my kids, always stand on the side of truth, no matter what. This is a principle that we teach in the Navy. Honor, courage, and have the honor to stand up, have a commitment to that you're gonna always do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Like we say this in our sailors' creed. You know what I'm saying? And so like we got to do the same thing in our own community. We got to like, hey man, this ain't when you see something wrong happening, stand up for it.
Yeah.
Make your voice known. Just like in the Bible when what it was, blind Bartimaeus, he was calling out for Jesus, and they told him to be quiet, and he yelled out louder, and that's when he got delivered. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't say nothing, how can change happen?
True.
God, I mean, we're gonna tie it all the way back to God, man. This is the base of the conversation.
Right.
The podcast, and if y'all don't like it, then that's y'all choice. But understand that everything that goes on in this world it's already happened before. God already got a word for it. You know what I'm saying? Now we got to go back and educate the youth. Because I got the ingredient, bro. I have the cure for racism. You want to hear it, bro?
What's up?
Starting that when kids can talk, let's never teach them about color racism. Done.
There you go. That's it.
So after that, look, we'll say between. Yeah, my son he was talking about black and white when he was 3 or 4. So we'll say every kid that's born from today on forward, you never teach them race or color. We just tell them to have pride in who you are, right? Yeah. In about 10 years, racism gone. Hey, I solved it. I think I should get a note.
Hey, 100%. It's done. It's over with.
You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, bro. It's done.
Hey,
ain't do that with it.
Man, the last thing you just talked about, man, was I think that was the nail. That was the nail. You know, saying the hammer to the nail right there. Just teaching our kids that they have a voice and teaching them that God made you who you are, man, and He didn't make a mistake. Like That's one thing he don't do is make mistakes. So know that and be proud. Be proud of that, man. Be proud that God made you black. Be proud that God gave you the skin color that you have, the complexion that you have, the voice. He gave you a tongue to talk with it. You know what I'm saying? He gave you eyes to see and ears to hear. But just be proud, man. He laid a foundation that nobody else can lay upon. So all the words that somebody tell you who you are and whatever you are, that doesn't define you. Only God can define you. So
Angelo
just
said,
understand that, man. Yeah, just understand that when you walk out, man, when you walk out into the world, your foundation has already been set. God has already made you who you are, and He didn't make a mistake, and nobody else can change it. So I truly appreciate that, because that's the stuff that you got to start saying. Like you said, as soon as kids talk, keep just pushing it in there. You were made wonderful. You know what I'm saying? So yes, that was the word of the day right there, bro.
yes, sir. Like they man, they pick up. You know what I'm saying? They're only gonna grow into what we put in them, bro.
Yeah.
I know for me, this is something I started doing with my son years, like when he was able to repeat back words. I started speaking affirmations into him before he go to sleep. You know, so that he can say them to himself, and it's gonna stick.
Yeah.
When somebody tell him he ain't what you know what I'm saying, the affirmations that we say, you're like, man, I don't know who you're talking to. They
Yeah.
don't affect them. They don't seep into the mental state of the kid, or
Yeah.
he won't be planning in his mind because he already is aware and conscious of who he is. You know what I'm saying? So, hey man, it's that side. God charged us to all change, and He charged us to all have. We all got weapons of choice. We just gave y'all some great options. You can choose to use A, B, C, or all of them. You know what I'm saying? So, man, it's just, hey, bro,
Hey,
it's a great one, man. Like,
yeah, another good one, bro.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, hey, man, we're gonna do this, man. We're gonna let's end this thing in prayer, man, because I think right now, man, like, you know, saying the world needs it, and we all need it, you know, and we dare not miss an opportunity of God, you know what I'm saying, to bring forth His word and His will and everything that He want to do, you know. So we just gonna end it like that, man.
Okay.
All right. So, Father God, we thank you for tonight's podcast. We thank you for everything that you are doing with the podcast. Father God, we thank you for making us the vessels, Lord God. We just honor you right now, Lord, for everything that you're doing. Let this not be of our words, but of your words. Lord God, we ask that love be spread across the world, into each and every house, whether they're in a high office of power or whether it's down to the lowest person that is homeless right now, Lord. We ask that you touch each and every heart and change be affected in that heart, Lord God, so that we can all come against the evil that is of the world, the division of the world, and bring forth nothing but love, hope, and faith in you, Lord God, that you are God of everything, over everything, and you have the power to change everything in this world, Lord God. So as we're on this podcast, every person that hears it, every person that sees it, Lord God, Lord God, we ask that you just go into their household, Lord, and just affect change, remove barriers and walls that are keeping them in bondage, Lord God, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. We ask that healing of the minds, healing of the hearts be shared upon the whole entire world right now, Lord. In your son, Jesus' name, amen.
Ooh. Well, that's a good one, boy.
So, BroTalk family has been great. All of those that joined in and watched, thank you. We appreciate you. We love you. And go forth and use these tools because you got options. And it's your choice in order to affect change in this world. Whether that's one person at a time, it doesn't matter. That one is still great. You know what I'm saying? Because that one can spread to the many and grab another one and another one, right? And so that's our job here on this earth, to love, teach, share the fruit of our trees with each other. And so signing out, guys.
Salute.
Oh.